Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we're going to be taking a look at something really cool. It's a bit of an old project of mine and it is known as the fire pit, and in all honesty, it is one of my favourites. Around about a month and a half ago, I uploaded a video called Quick and Easy Fire Lighting, in which I showcased a bunch of different ways to light up your base using fire. Now these are all really awesome, and the last design that I showed was definitely your favourite. It was called the fire pit, and unfortunately I didn't do a tutorial on it in the original video, which I am now regretting because there were hundreds upon thousands of comments asking for a tutorial. So I thought I best get to work and do one, and this is what I've come up with. Now I have done just a wee bit of redesigning since the last video. Don't worry, it still does exactly the same thing. So let's take a closer look. Just flick this lever down here and you will see the fire comes on nice and quickly, makes an awesome noise, nice and warm, and it provides a lot of light. Now just a quick word of warning, it does use fire charges rather than flint and steel, so it is quite expensive to use. However, if you're building this kind of thing, I would expect you've got quite a lot of resources for yourself. But anyway, now we just flick the lever again and you will see the water flows down, extinguishing the flame, putting out the light so it toggles off. And well, I think it's safe to say it looks pretty badass. So I think I have done enough chin wagging for one episode. Let's get down to the facts. For those of you who are too lazy to build this for yourselves, you'd rather just sit down and import it into your worlds, there is a world download in the description below that you can check out for yourselves. Take a closer look at the redstone, and like I said, you can import it wherever you want to. Just treat it nicely, you know, I put a lot of time into that. Now for those of you who actually are going to put the hours in, yeah, I'm talking to you, honey, we are going to crack on with this tutorial, so let's go. So you want to get things started with a 4x4 area. We are going to start off by placing all of our dispensers facing upwards. Now one of these dispensers is going to be the input block. You choose which one it is, but you want to place a lever right on the side there. Now if you don't want your lever to be on this block, then you just run a repeater into that dispenser and it will do the same job, so then you can have a redstone line coming in from anywhere. But anyway, I'm going to be putting my lever in just in case. So then you just want to run redstone round like this, round the corner and into a block, and that is you done pretty much for the bottom. Then you just want to add in your netherrack above all of the dispensers, and now would be a good time to fill them up with fire charges, so do a bit of that. Then on the edge of this block you just want to place a regular piston facing upwards, and then you are going to pillar right the way up to the top of your build. You can see here I have done the pillars right the way up here, so I'm going to roughly line those up. I think that is about right, so we're going to go right the way up here and then another block there, and that is going to be the height of mine. You can build yours as high as you like, as long as this pillar does not exceed 12 blocks. That is very important. I should elaborate on that a little bit more. The actual pillar needs to be 11 blocks at the maximum, and then you need the one redstone block on the top. But anyway, continuing on upwards, you just want to place a regular piston facing downwards like that, and then a repeater right here facing outwards running into a block with redstone dust on the top, and then a block on the side of this piston here. Next thing, you want to place a redstone torch on the edge of this block, and then we are going to create a hopper clock up here. So you just want to run each of these hoppers into one another, then throw any old item in there, then grab your comparator and run it out into this piston, and you will see that should start up a redstone clock. However, this hopper is locked because this redstone torch is powering it, and the only time that clock is going to activate is when this bottom piston extends. So you can see we flick this, that piston extends, which means that this is now powered, which means the torch is off and the redstone clock is running. So this is essentially passing up a redstone signal through the 12 blocks without using any ugly redstone torches or anything like that. So then you can see when we flick this, this will be automatically pushed back down by this piston. It's very smart. Finally, onto our water flusher, we're going to be placing our block, a repeater on top running into a sticky piston with a block on top. Now we're going to put all of our dispensers down once again. It is just a 2x2 floor plan just like that, and then we want to place redstone dust on top of these dispensers here, and then just a couple blocks like that, and a block up like that with redstone dust there, and a repeater. Set it all to 3 ticks. Now obviously that is the bare minimum right there. You are going to want to do some decorating because that's not particularly pleasant to look at, to be honest with you. This isn't bad, that's but ugly. I'm sure you can do better than me. Despite it looking absolutely horrific, we are going to do a quick test. Flick this, you will see our fire comes on, and then we flick it again and you will see the water flusher runs down, putting out our flame. So there we have it, folks. You have built yourself a very nice and toggleable fire pit, and I hope it was as good as it looks. But unfortunately, that is all I've got time for today, folks. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.